With the end of the school year drawing near, final season is upon us. Now more than ever, mental health is a pressing concern in the minds of many struggling students. Yet our school has utterly failed to confront this epidemic. In recent years, mental health awareness has been an increasingly prominent topic in the public eye, yet many are still left battling their own inner demons.
Low key, I think school just makes you feel like majority of the time.
Today, 1 in 6 kids aged 6 to 17 suffer from a mental health disorder. Half of these conditions appear before age 14. If left untreated, these illnesses can interrupt student growth, learning, and development. Yet in 2019, only 15% of students who needed mental health services actually received help. Fortunately, Mr. Zeidler is leading the way, advocating for mental health awareness at Brookfield East.
As you guys were saying, it's it, and so if how you think about something really would make a difference, I say, like, what's the most important topic to adjust your thinking? And it's saying that thinking about yourself, so it's like, I don't know if I can get up for I said, like, I was doing class, which is kind of hard to mom now. It's like learning to walk to the mirror, like in the morning, walking to the mirror and just say, it's when I look in the mirror to say, I love you, Jeff, and I can't wait to spend the day with you. There isn't anyone else I want to spend the day with.
I mean, the word that really jumps out is the awareness. I mean, you can't start solving a problem until you're aware that you have the problem, the dynamics of the problem. So I think just that idea that you kind of want to have that conversation with yourself, where am I at today, is a good, healthy place to be, so that then you can start taking steps if you need to.
Mr. Zeidler, he was a great AP Physics teacher. I had him AP Physics 1 in the first semester. And the first things I met him, like in the first day, he had a book. It was about depression. He's telling me the stuff behind depression, the stuff behind anxiety. And throughout the course, he's talked about the cold showers, how it can affect your mind for the better, that mental health. And every Friday in the beginning of the class, unless it was a test, of course, we had something called Breathing Friday. 5 minutes of pure breathing, being quiet. It helps you reduce your stress levels. And it worked. It was beautiful. I was so happy because not only was it a Friday, but I felt actually happy for once.
Mr. Zeidler is known for advocating breathing techniques and more recently, cold showers.
So has Mr. Zeidler's breathing techniques and other strategies helped you in your academic career and personal life?
Yes, of course it has. Typically when I wake up, I feel like shit and wonder why I'm here. But I still work through it. And, Mr. Zeidler's skills, I always take a cold shower every morning for 5 minutes. And at first it hurt. I'm like, this is cold. Because, my water cold is, cold. Like, you wouldn't survive it. I'm just like that. And, it helped me a lot. And I breathe more often. I have more alone time. And I keep thinking,
Unfortunately, not everyone shares Fez's opinions. In fact, many have dismissed Mr. Zeidler's advice as simply unnecessary.
You guys don't realize, too, what you do for me, and I guess that's the part that you don't understand. Like, just even right here, you asking me and you're getting me to share, to think about this, it's like, it's not just always like a counselor or something like that. You guys are open to ideas. So even if you just listen to me, that's something you gave to me, So maybe you say, well, that's really good that we shared, but you allowed me to listen to myself. You allowed me to share, and so if a person just listened, or maybe even just shut up and didn't bother me or be rude, just let me talk, and it's just kind of appreciating what that is for me, you know what I mean? And so, and then that's up to you, what and I guess that's the part more or less encourage you is let's encourage each other to share where they're at. And then, let's just try to be open and listening.
There's two things about Mr. Zeidler that are really critical to understand, and one is he really does try and take an active interest in the student in terms of, here's where you are, let's see if we can move you to here. And he'll engage you in conversation, give you insight, mentoring, keep asking you things about it. So I think he really does have, I think when students relate to him, they really feel like he has their best interests at heart, which I think when you talk about dealing with mental health, just knowing somebody out there cares about you, and maybe they don't even have to, they're not you're not their sons or daughters. They just care about you because of who you are. I think that's a really healthy thing. And what was the other thing is, I also think the other thing is, I think he's really good at modeling vulnerability. And I think that gives permission to other people to say, I don't have to always put on this tough guy facade. I can be a real person and show some vulnerability, and then in the process learn how to gather strength and how to move on. I think one of the big challenges of all people, regardless, like I'm an older person, it's a challenge I have. I'm probably having it right now today, but especially for young people, is knowing how to get unstuck. And like every now and then things are going along fine, but all of a sudden you feel like you're a little stuck in whatever way, and just mechanisms to get unstuck. And I think that goes hand in hand with when you're stuck, you kind of are in that vulnerable position. But if you learn how to get unstuck, that's where you gather strength. And makes.
Because you'd like it for other people to be nice to you, so why don't you be nice to yourself? And that sounds so obvious, but you know what? It's very easy to be mean to yourself and say mean things and not accept yourself. And that idea of like accepting, first of all, so that awareness comes, I really say like just being aware of how we think about things. So really, the most dangerous person in anyone's life, it's not like the mass killer coming through, not that we don't have to do something, is us hurting ourselves. And how, so you think like, wow, I'm not gonna hurt myself. No, that's, when you get in bad places, and that's, mental illness, you become self-destructive. I could sum you up as, they say you can live like 30 days or 40 days without food. You can live 3 to 5 days without water. You can live maybe 3 to 5 minutes without air, but you can't live a second without hope. Nobody's ever committed suicide that had hope. You lose hope, and it's something that we just don't oftentimes think about, like how critical hope is. That I have a purpose, I have a meaning. I mean something to somebody else. So.
Self-awareness is very important, but it's not the only way to maintain your mental health. Research has found that complimenting others can create a mindful moment and help you escape a negative cycle.
If you want to change the world, compliment others and listen.
Always be kind to all the other people around you.
Changing the world starts on an individual basis, that like people in Congress or Senate, they could actually, what if they spend time, like what if there's the new rules, like we got to spend time, we got to make our focus this year in Congress and Senate next year is to listen and to compliment others. Wow, it's like so simple, but it's not easy. There's a lot of things, but it's like those stuff like that, I guess, really like, just shut your mouth, start listening a little bit better, and start complimenting people. And it's like, because everybody can do that. Just breathe.
Popeye's chicken sandwich, let me tell you, I hate school. I hate everything that goes on around it. So when I go home and I'm being told we're going to Popeyes, I'm like, yes! Yes! And I love it. And that perfect spicy chicken sandwich, it's beautiful. It has the spicy sauce. It has the perfect breaded chicken that's fried to perfection. It has the nice bread, the buttery bun. It just helps me so much.